Okay, for every busy professional, every working parent out there, anyone who feels like they're juggling a million things at once, what if I told you there's a new superpower you can tap into right now? A tool that helps you get more done, not just faster, but even better. Today, we're going to unlock your creative workflow with AI, and I promise it is way easier than you think. So let's just kick things off with a number that should make everyone sit up a little straighter. A recent study from MIT looked at professionals doing everyday writing tasks, emails, reports, that kind of thing. When they got access to ChatGPT, they finished those tasks a staggering 40% faster. That is a massive leap in productivity. But here's the real kicker. It wasn't just about speed. The quality of their work, and this was rated by outside experts, actually went up by 18%. So we're not just talking about working faster, we're talking about working better. It really answers that big question we all have. Is the AI stuff actually any good? Well, the data says, yeah, it is. And look, this isn't some far-off futuristic technology we're talking about. This is available right now, today, and it's incredibly easy to get started. So the real question isn't if this can help you, it's how you can start using it like this afternoon. And that's exactly what this is all about. First things first, let's get some inspiration. I think the best way to really wrap our heads around the potential here is to see how the biggest brands in the world are already putting AI to work. And what you're going to see is that it's not about replacing people, it's all about making human creativity even more powerful. Just look at Netflix. They're not using AI to write the next season of Stranger Things. No way. They use it to make sure the amazing creative work their teams produce actually finds the right audience. Think about it. 80% of what you watch on Netflix is because an AI recommended it. It even tests different little pictures for the shows to see which one you're most likely to click on. AI is basically the ultimate matchmaker between a great show and its future fans. And if you want to see the pure creative potential, check out what Nike did. They used AI to do something that should be totally impossible. They created a tennis match between Serena Williams from 1999 and the Serena from 2017. The AI analyzed decades of her gameplay to pull this off. It's this incredible tribute that's not just cool, it honors the evolution of a true icon. It's the perfect example of using tech to celebrate what makes us human. Okay, so these huge companies are using AI for these massive projects. But how do we tap into that same power for our everyday tasks? Well, it all comes down to one simple, super important skill, the art of prompting. This is how you talk to and collaborate with your new AI partner. Let's just demystify this right now. A prompt is simply what you type into the box. It's your instruction. But here's the key. Think of it less like a Google search and more like a creative brief you'd give to a new team member. It's the start of a real conversation. But here's the secret. Not all prompts are created equal. A great one has 4 key parts. First, give it a role. Tell it who to be, like an expert copywriter. Second, give it context, the background, who you're talking to. Third, state the task, what you actually want it to do. And finally, tell it the format you want the answer in. Just remember those 4 things: role, context, task, and format. That is your recipe for success. Okay, let's see this in action. Here, someone started with a decent prompt for a logo for their coffee and video game cafe. And the results are, they're okay. It gives you a few different directions to go in, and honestly, this is where a lot of people stop. But this is where the magic happens, in the follow-up. The user gives specific feedback, saying, hey, I like those retro cool options. Can you give me 3 more in that same style? And just look at the results. They're so much more specific and closer to what they were imagining. That's iteration. It's a back-and-forth conversation that takes you from a generic idea to something truly brilliant. Okay, enough theory. Let's get really practical with some stuff you can use the second this is over. I'm going to give you 3 micro-hacks. These are ready-to-use prompts that will instantly solve some of the most common productivity killers we all deal with. We have all been there. You have to start a report, write an article, and you're just staring at that blinking cursor on a blank white screen. Writer's block is so real, and it is a massive time waster. So instead of staring, you use this prompt. See how it uses our recipe? The role is content strategist. The context is your industry and your customer. The task is to suggest 5 topics, and the format is a headline, outline, and call to action. In like 30 seconds, you've gone from a totally blank page to 5 fully fleshed out starting points. Problem solved. Okay, here's another one we all know too well. You have to send a sensitive email.
Maybe you're giving some tough feedback or dealing with a tricky client. Writing it can take forever because you're agonizing over getting the tone just right. This prompt is basically your personal communications coach. You define the context, like who it's for and what it's about. You specify the task, like stating a key message. But the most important part is you tell it the exact tone to adopt. This saves so much time, reduces stress, and gives you a solid professional draft to start from. And finally, the curse of the modern worker, just information overload. You get sent a 20-page report or a massive email chain, and you just need to know what's important, and you need to know it fast. This microhack is a total game changer. You just paste the text right after this prompt, and the AI does all the heavy lifting. The task is brilliant. First, summarize it so you get the gist. Then pull out all the actionable parts. It instantly turns a wall of text into your next to-do list. Now that you have the tools, the final step is actually building the habit. How do you make this a seamless part of your daily routine? It's all about thinking of AI as your trusted co-pilot. Here's a super simple plan. First, just identify one single task that always slows you down. Don't overthink it. Second, apply one of these microhacks to it. And third, iterate. Tweak the prompt a little. See if you can get an even better result. The more you refine your prompts, the smarter your co-pilot gets. And this is probably the most important thing to remember through all of this. AI is a tool. It is your co-pilot, not the autopilot. Your experience, your gut feeling, your unique expertise, that's what guides the whole process. The AI provides the leverage, but you are still the one flying the plane. So, your co-pilot is ready and waiting for its first assignment. The only question left is, what's the very first task you're going to give it? Think about your week ahead. What's that one thing you're already kind of dreading? Yeah, that one. Start there.